Yo people, welcome back to a new video on the Big Steph channel, and today I want to talk about something that's been on my mind recently, a player that's been on my mind recently. With how certain the last couple months have gone, it's kind of led me to the question about what happens with Emile Smith-Rowe. We'll get into it. But now I feel it's only appropriate if we do an Emile Smith-Rowe video, we start from the beginning, because this young man has achieved a lot in a short space of time at Arsenal. So let me just go from the top and give you all the present day season, and then we get into what I think will happen to Emile Smith-Rowe. Smith-Rowe joined Arsenal's Hale End Academy in 2010 at the age of 10 years old after playing for South London-based team Glebe. He made his first team appearance for the under-23s in 2016 at the age of 16. He then went on to sign his first professional contract with the club in July 2017. He continued to show up for the under-23s during this 2017-2018 period, making 10 appearances for the side, recording 3 assists and scoring 5 goals in all competitions. This led to Emile Smith-Rowe signing a new professional contract with Arsenal into July 2018. The manager at the time, Unai Emery, describing him as having, quote, lots of potential. Smith-Rowe then followed that up by making his Arsenal first-team competitive debut on September 20th, 2018 against Voluska Polotava in the Europa League, appearing as a second-half substitute for Alex Iwobi. He became the first Arsenal debutant born in the year 2000, or after the year 2000. He followed that up by scoring for the Arsenal against Karabakh in a 3-0 victory for Arsenal, and became the youngest goal scorer in a competitive match since Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain in 2011, and became the first player born after the year 2000 to score for the Arsenal. Just in his first couple of appearances for Arsenal, he's already debuted and broke a record, and he's already scored and broke a record. He scored his first goal at the Emirates in a 2-1 victory over Blackpool in the League Cup. That prompted a January 2019 deadline day transfer, well, a loan per se, to RB Leipzig. A loan for until the end of the 2018-2019 season. Well, at this point, Bukayo Saka had a lot of potential. He had a lot of traction around his name. Came in, done a lot for the Arsenal, played well in those games he did show up. And it prompted him to go to RB Leipzig. Now, RB Leipzig at the time was known, and still known, for bringing through young, talented players, especially with the Red Bull system. They produce high-quality talent. After signing to Leipzig, they discovered that Smith-Rowe was not fully recovered from a groin injury that he managed to pick up. So due to his injury issue, he only played a total of 28 minutes in 3 substitute appearances during his time at Leipzig. This loan spell was a injury-ridden loan spell. He picked up the groin injury before he came to Leipzig, and his time at Leipzig was more to get fitness, more get about his match fitness than anything else. After returning to Arsenal to fight for a spot in the starting 11, he only managed to pick up 7 matches for Arsenal across all competitions, resulting in him being loaned out again to Huddersfield Town until the end of the 2019-2020 season. Smith-Rowe's performances for Huddersfield Town, though, caught the eye of many, in particular in his final home appearance for the club. He scored the winning goal in the 86th minute against West Brom that will eventually help Huddersfield secure championship safety and keep them up. That summer, Mikel Arteta trusted the young Englishman, with Smith-Rowe being named as an unused substitute in the 2020 FA Community Shield, in which Arsenal defeated Premier League winners Liverpool 5-4 on penalties. Following his return to Arsenal, Smith-Rowe struggled with injuries again before returning to fitness in the fall. Although he performed well in Arsenal's Europa League group fixtures, scoring and assisting in each of his matches, he didn't start in any of Arsenal's league matches in October or November. Following Arsenal's worst league start in decades, manager Mikel Arteta entrusted Emile Smith-Rowe with the number 10 role, replacing Willian on Boxing Day against London rivals Chelsea to inspire a 3-1 home victory to end the club's poor run of form. In his next 5 matches, Smith-Rowe recorded 3 assists and scored a goal in a 2-0 FA Cup victory over Newcastle. In March 2021, Smith-Rowe played in the North London derby for the first time and delivered a man-of-the-match performance in a 2-1 stunning display over the shite side Tottenham Hotspur. On the 9th of May, Smith-Rowe scored his first Premier League goal in a 3-1 victory over West Brom, and then followed up the feat 3 days later by scoring in a 1-0 win against Chelsea, sealing the Gunners' first win at Stamford Bridge in nearly 10 years and the first league double over the Blues since 2004. Now, that season, Smith-Rowe, the 2020-2021 season, became the start of Emile Smith-Rowe. The breakout season. You saw the big games he was performing in. Chelsea twice. He's performed against Spurs, having great back-to-back performances. He looked like a good player. He looked like a very impactful player. And it was only to get better from here. That summer, a decision was to be made on Emile Smith-Rowe's future. The Gunners managed to tie down Smith-Rowe to a new long-term deal with the club, reported to be a 5-year contract in which he was handed the number 10 jersey vacated by Mesut Ozil that summer. This was when the famous "Saka and Emile Smith-Rowe" chants begin to come through. And this is where we start to see the development of a brilliant young player. Smith-Rowe returned the faith shown in him by Mikel Arteta and started the season with 5 goals and 2 assists in his first 14 games, helping Arsenal claw back from their worst start to a Premier League season, losing the first 3 games, conceding 9 and scoring none. Smith-Rowe would then score his 5th league goal against Manchester United in a 3-2 away defeat, where he came off injured with a groin injury. Yes, another groin injury for Emile Smith-Rowe. However, though, he would make a full recovery and he would go on to score as a come off the bench and score as a substitute against West Ham in a 2-0 victory at the Emirates, and then would go on to score again against Leeds and Norwich and end the season with 11 goals and 2 assists, which made him the first Haaland graduate since Cesc Fabregas to hit double figures in a season. So let me just give you a few things before we even get into Emile Smith-Rowe. The first debutant born after the year 2000. The first goal scorer born after the year 2000. The youngest goal scorer at that time to score for Arsenal since Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain in 2011. He helped seal our first win at Stamford Bridge in 10 years and helped us do the double over Chelsea for the first time since 2004, which we done again this season that just went. So hold that, Chelsea. He became also the first Haaland graduate to get double-digit goals in the season since Cesc Fabregas, and he also got the number 10. That's after he got the number 10 shirt from Mesut Ozil. Do you hear the things this little man has achieved in his short space of time with Arsenal? Do you hear the things he's achieved? All good and well. But this season was a rough one for him. In the start of the 2022-2023 season, Smith-Rowe struggled with another groin injury, getting surgery and was unable to play for the first half of the season. He recovered and was included in the squad in the latter half of the season, only contributing 2 assists in only 241 minutes in all competitions. Just to show you how well that is, right? Bukayo Saka played 3,744 minutes of football this whole season. That's over 15 times more than Emile Smith-Rowe, playing only 8 of the last 21 games and being an unused sub in 10 of those games. With Martinelli, Saka, Nelson, and possibly Odegaard getting new deals in the positions he likes, also having Leandro Trossard coming in, and Edu and Mikel Arteta looking to bring in quality in that Xhaka role, in Declan Rice or Moises Caicedo, whatever they decide to do. What happens with Emile Smith-Rowe? Now, for a young, talented player, I've just given you all the things he's done in his Arsenal career. He scored double-digit goals, the first Haaland prospect to do that since Cesc Fabregas. And still this season, yes, he's picked up a lot of injuries, but you tell me where he's getting in this season. I don't see him having a starting role next season, to be honest with you. Martinelli, that position is locked down. He's not starting before Bukayo Saka. That midfield, I can't see him getting in the midfield unless Declan Rice or whoever we get comes in and is absolutely terrible. I can't see that happening. But I do see one glimmer of hope. And it comes down to if he could dispose Fabio Vieira. If Emile Smith-Rowe could dispose of Fabio Vieira and become the backup to Martin Odegaard essentially, or become the backup to the right wing if we don't I mean, we already have Reece Nelson who just signed a new deal, so that's already shut down. But if he could somehow take advantage next season and work his way over certain players in that squad, probably work his way over Fabio Vieira, work his way back over Reece Nelson, and probably over Trossard again, he could probably find himself getting more than 241 minutes. But if he can't, then would you look to sell? Now, me personally, I would love to keep Emile Smith-Rowe. And I think for such a young player who's shown he has quality and shown he can get it done and has repaid the faith every single time you've shown him faith, I would give him one more chance. But as this squad continues to develop and push higher and higher and higher, if he doesn't push along with that team, we could be looking at another Jack Wilshere situation in terms of injuries and consistently battling his health and having to get back fitness. I just watched a podcast with Ben Foster and Jack Wilshere. Jack Wilshere reminded me he was out for 18 months at one time. And while sitting on the bench, all he could think about is if he'll ever get back to those standards. And I know that has to be going through Emile Smith-Rowe's head right now. I mean, he's out in Dubai, by reports, getting ready. He had his own fit personal trainer. He's out there putting in the work, trying to get better and better and better every single day. But unless he really turns it up next season, it's going to be very hard for Emile Smith-Rowe to find the levels he did in the 2021-2022 season. It's going to be very hard for him. Because in the 2021-2022 season, yes, we were pushing for top 4, but that side was carried by those two youngsters in Emile Smith-Rowe and Bukayo Saka. Partially here and there, you had Lacazette chipping in, barely, and anybody else that wanted to chip in. Odegaard doing his part, trying to grow it on the team, just came back in from his loan. It was mainly carried by the two Hale End boys in that season when he performed well. This season, no, that just passed. Yes, it's been carried by Bukayo Saka, the Hale End boy, but you had Martinelli chipping in, Odegaard chipping in. We had quality like Jesus now in the squad. Other big names are stepping up to the plate. And now we're back in the Champions League. We're looking to add more quality on top of that. We saw Reece Nelson took a step up last season, earned himself a new deal. Smith-Rowe not playing this season kind of hurt a lot. We'll have to see what the boss says. The boss said he's looking to keep him. I'm not hearing any rumors on a sale. I mean, we heard a few people interested in his talents, probably like a West Ham or a Newcastle. But I think Emile Smith-Rowe is a player that we should definitely keep. And I think he should be the backup to a Martin Odegaard. I think he's personally a bit better than Fabio Vieira from what the little bit I've seen of Fabio Vieira. I think he can still do a job. I think his best position is off the left. But, like I said, Trossard and Martinelli already have tough competition going for that off the left position. Smith-Rowe, I don't see him getting into that position. I don't know if he can really play the 8 role to that quality, especially like a Declan Rice is gonna come in and play that, or even to the level like Xhaka. Yes, his best attributes are ball control, running with the ball, agility, getting around, but the durability to play in a high intensity, high impact midfield, can his body still take it? That we're not sure. We'll have to wait and see. But this just goes to show you the curious case of Emile Smith-Rowe. What is going to happen with this man? What do y'all think? Leave in the comments down below what you think will happen with Emile Smith-Rowe. Would you look to sell right now, make your money back up, or would you show faith in the young lad? Would you show faith and hope that he kicks on from here? You can only hope. But we'll see what happens with the young lad. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Thank you guys for watching. If Emile Smith-Rowe happens to see this, I'm pushing for you. And let's hope you get back to the form and the heights you once did, because you will be a massive benefit to us in this season coming up where we need squad depth. Peace.